Hello everybody, this is HG Shaves here. I'm back with another video. Very happy to be with you here again to do another one of these reviews. And I hope that this video finds you in good health and all that sort of stuff. So I guess for today, we'll start by talking about the soap. Yeah, that makes sense. This was sent to me by a friend. Thank you, Frankie, for sending this to me a good long bit ago now, and I'm just now getting around to reviewing it, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So this is by Cold River Soapworks. This big, I guess it's the largest font thing on here. Yeah, the largest font thing here, Glide, that's the type of base, or that's the name of the base that the soap is in. They make at least 4 different soap bases last I checked. They've got a select one, they've got a sheet milk one, they've got an olive oil one, this one, maybe a vegan one too. And so this is called Brazen Moment. That's the name of the scent. And I like how they put the scent notes here. Amber, cumin, aquaponics, I think. In terms of the packaging, it's pretty simple. The only side label you have here is right here. And this tells you some of the ingredients, which I'll mention. So it's tallow based. It also has goat's milk. It has 3 butters, kokum, shea, and kokum, shea, cocoa. Yeah, there we go. And it's got some aloe. And this one is notable because because while it is tallow based, it does not have lanolin in it. Some people are sensitive to lanolin, but maybe still want to use a tallow soap, and so this one might be a good option for you. In terms of the scent, the official notes on the site are amber, cumin, aquaponics, and there's also vanilla. So to me, off the tub, this is like a very kind of sweet, unassuming, like just pleasant scent, and I mostly perceive the sweeter amber and vanilla notes. At least amber is I usually perceive it as sweet with the notes that it's paired with in the amber scents that I like. But then as soon as I begin to lather it, I can start to smell the aquaponics, which is another type of resin, myrrh, which has kind of a unique resin smell. And then also the pepper adds a little bit of intrigue, and the scent really changes quite a bit from when you start to by the end. And so that's definitely a cool thing about this soap. And of course, I'll talk more as we go here. Next up, the razor. So I'm a little late to the boat on trying this out, but this is the Tatara, the full name Tatara Masamune Nodachi. Made in Portugal with sort of a Japanese aesthetic in mind. This one is on loan from my friend SMS. Thank you, SMS. You can interchange all of the parts that they make, right? And so this is the Masamune handle, which is the lighter one of the two. And so I definitely agree with SMS that this is the way to go on the handle because we both like lighter razors, and that's just sort of the vintage thing, right? You like lighter razors. And then the top cap and base plate are the Nodachi configuration, which are slightly more aggressive than the Masamune ones. And yeah, I have really enjoyed taking a look at this razor. It's a 3-piece, really well machined, all of that. And when it's all assembled, this particular configuration is only something like 80 some odd grams, which is a good weight for stainless steel for me. The not most expensive, the heaviest stainless steel razor I have is from the Rockwell Success, and that one is just kind of bordering the too much, and that's like a little over 100 grams. So if I can get under that, love it. I was using the Gillette Super Thin from Brazil that I used last week. I was using that, and then it very suddenly just kind of, the blade died on me at the end of last shave. So we're gonna change out the blade for this shave. Why not? Gonna use a Treet Trig, fresh out of Pakistan via the UK, came across the pond. And these are double wrapped blades. My friend who sent these to me says that they're kind of on the mild spectrum. And so that's certainly welcome because, again, the Nodachi is the slightly more efficient of the two top cap configurations. So this is what the blade looks like. Trig, Treet Trig Silver Edge, and it says the same on the other side. I'm gonna throw out this wrapper now. And yeah, let's put the razor together, why not? In the top cap here, it's got the standard, you know, post in the middle, and then the two supporting ones on the side. Ready? I'm gonna put it on my hand, do it that way. Okay, there it is. And then for the Nodachi, you've got the little samurai on one side, and on the other side it says Nodachi, sorry. Yeah. And then on the other side, you can see how the, you know, two pieces come together pretty clearly there. And then let's screw in the handle. So the handle is special because the threading continues into the very top part of this. And so when you start to lock this down, I'm going to be quiet as I do it. It wasn't quite as satisfying of a sound as I had hoped for you all. But the point is, when you tighten this thing down and you put it together, it is well fit and well put together and just very satisfying. So in terms of the machining and the design and all that, I'm very attracted to this razor in that way. So let's get into the shave, why don't we? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some water in my face, get the brush loaded up, and then I'll bring you back in when I'm about to start the face lather. All right, we're back, and we have the Declaration Grooming B8, the Dogwood Handcrafts handle. We've got it loaded up. It's pretty soft soap, and so it loads pretty easily. And oh, it's pretty, yeah, I said it's pretty soft. And I just noticed on their site last night, I wish I would have seen this earlier in the week, they also say that you can load out at the toe, but they think that it's soft enough that you could even do a schmear and go method, as it were, which is one of my favorites. Okay, let's start the face lather now. So, Cold River Soap Works, to talk to you a little bit more about them, they're based out of upstate New York, I think Syracuse area. And I would say that they've been trending on WetTube, on shaving YouTube here for the past, I don't know, week or so. Seems like a couple people have been doing reviews of their soaps, and they've been around since at least 2017. I was going back and watching a couple old videos of people using their stuff back then just to see how they've developed. And yeah, this is one that I've heard of. You know, they're an artisan that I've heard of, but I wouldn't have tried them unless Frankie, you know, sent me the soap. So thank you for that, bud. In terms of the lathering process this week, it's been really easy, even by my standards, because you know that I'm sometimes a little bit challenged in the lather department, but you know, when you have a soft soap that's not difficult to load and you load enough, it's kind of hard to mess that up. You know, it's like if you load enough, sure, you might start with a little bit too much soap, but you just keep adding water and then everything's going to be okay. This develops a shine really quickly. Maybe that's coming across on the video, maybe not. But I've learned that the only misleading thing about this soap is exactly that. Is that it makes you think that you've got enough water, but it can take even more. You know, I don't know how long this Glide base has been around, but it's got, you know, it's not skimping in the ingredients department. And usually that means that it can take more water. So I'm going to keep lathering this in, working it up, and then I'll speed you back up when we're ready. Okay, we're back, and I'm pretty happy with this result. Again, Really easy to work with, and it'll thin out a little bit as we go through our passes. As I was saying about the scent, as you work it up, as you begin to apply it, it does really get a lot of kind of intrigue going between the pepper and the resin and the vanilla. It's nice. Okay, let's go with the first pass with the Tatara again. Masamune handle, Nodachi top cap and base plate with a Treet Trig blade. Let's see how this goes. Not bad. So, to talk to you more about the Tatara, you know, to me, their website is like, if you're really into like modern razors and seeing how they're made, you need to go check out their site. It's highly detailed, and it's not like they give you a tour of their factory or anything, but just very detailed photos, and really gets you inside the process of how they make this stuff, and you know what they're thinking about too. One of the things on their site is they recommend that you use a very shallow angle with this, something like 24 degrees, which is basically red the cap. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. And I've noticed that this does make for a more comfortable shave than if you, I don't know, don't ride the cap. So always happy to ride the cap. That's just become, I don't know, my go-to with razors like this. And I think it started with vintage Gillettes. With a lot of those, they always tell you to ride the cap, you know, whether it's an aggressive razor or not. This Treet blade feels quite good, actually. I would say it feels as advertised to me by my friend. Kind of on the more mild side, I would compare it. Maybe to a Indian Gillette Wilkinson sword. That's kind of my go-to mild blade. All right, so there's first pass. Definitely could have gone with more water, but again, I do kind of like the process of it gradually thinning out as you go through your 3 passes. Okay, gonna do my rinse, and then I'll bring you back in for pass number 2. Okay, pass 2. Okay, so here's pass number 2, kind of across and with the grain. Okay, good second pass, gonna rinse and then bring it back in for the final third pass. Okay, let's do our third and final pass against the grain, mostly. I think I failed to mention, well, I definitely mentioned that the Nodachi is the more aggressive of the two base plate and top cap combinations, but it feels very similar to me to the carve C plate that I was using with the aluminum razor last week. It's got a, you know, reasonable blade gap by modern standards. It's like 0.8 millimeters something, 0.9, and it's got slightly positive exposure. Both of them do. And so that creates for a pretty efficient shave by my standards, but it doesn't feel, it's just not a ton of blade feel. It doesn't feel aggressive or risky or anything. And so if you watched my review last week with the carve, then you know that this is just a little bit more efficient than I really need. Somebody who shaves 6 days a week, I just don't need really, you know, aggressive razor all the time. Let's go the other way here. Perhaps the Masamune head would have served me better, but thankful that SMS loaned this to me, and of course I'll take whatever he gives me. Beggars can't be choosers, right? The balance of this razor has felt really good. And definitely took a couple days of getting used to the weight compared to the aluminum I was using the previous week. Not too much of the kind of drag thing that I feel with heavy stainless razors. Sometimes I feel like they're a little bit draggy and they don't move like I want them to do. Don't know if it's because of the weight or if it's the material, but I haven't noticed that with this, so that's a good thing. Yeah, really no effort on my part to get like a super close shave, and it's a very close shave. So again, these modern razors have that going for them, and if you're a person that likes that, and you know, I think this razor is going to serve a lot of people for many years. Okay, so that's the shave. I'm going to do my final rinse, and then I'll come back and talk to you over post-shave. For post-shave today, we're going to be using the matching Brazen Moment Aftershave Splash from Cold River Soapworks, also sent to me by Frankie. Thank you again. I don't think they make these anymore. I don't know when they stopped doing that, but I haven't seen them on their site since I've received the set, and sounds like it may just be something they discontinued. This is mostly aloe and witch hazel based. The ingredients right here, but it does have alcohol near the end, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe it's just meant to be there just for a little bit of the antiseptic properties, but to me it mostly feels like, if I didn't know that there was alcohol on the ingredients, I wouldn't think that it were in the splash. And I do like these little plastic splash bottles, by the way. Southern Witchcrafts used to use the same ones, and then they only recently upgraded to glass ones, but I actually like these little plastic ones. I think they look fine. I don't think they're cheap or anything, and I wish more artisans would use these little plastic ones, actually. And so yeah, this feels like a toner to me. Feels like a witch hazel toner. Again, kind of reminds me of the Southern Witchcraft's toner. It's, you know, protective enough. It's not going to dry you out as much as if it were totally alcohol based, but yeah, pleasant, and it continues the scent a little bit. The scent's very similar to me in the splash. I think it's a good, you know, matchup in that way. Got a little weeper right here, which is a shame, but hey, it happens. Okay, let's do the final rundown here. So we used the Brazen Moment Aftershave, as I just showed, the toner splash, then the Glide Brazen Moment. So if you are a person who likes having different soap bases, you like looking at what artisans have to offer through different soap bases, Cold River Soapworks might be a good option for you. Again, if you're allergic to lanolin, but you still want to use a tallow-based soap, because often they'll put those together, I might recommend you check out the Glide base in particular. And it's surely some people, you know, really enjoy what they have to offer and really suits them. Good soap. I have no complaints about it. The Tatara Masamune Nodachi head, Masamune handle, beautiful razor. I've loved using it, and it's just a pleasure to put together and shave with and all those things. It just isn't really for me. It's more efficient than I need, and but I'm confident that this is going to serve many people for many, many years in their shaving lives. And then finally, the B8 Dogwood Handcrafts handle. My first ever decoration knot, and I love using it because it doesn't have too much backbone, which you all know how I feel about that. Okay, so that's been the shave today. Thanks so much if you made it this far. Thank you all who watched my mail call video that I just recently posted. I was surprised and happy as to how many people watched that, because I think next time I'll put a disclaimer on it for gem nerds only, because it was pretty nerdy, but people seem to like it, so thank you all for watching if you did. And again, we're going to be on a sort of gem rotation here coming up, so I know I'm looking forward to that. I hope some of you all are too. For now, this has been HG Shaves. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.